I'm doing. I've been working a lot on obviously automating the law. That has been like a big thing in my career over the past, decade or whatever it's been. For those who don't know, my name's Alex Sharistani. I started off as a trained computer scientist, and I did that so I could be the attorney who understood the technology, because I wanted to be a technology attorney. I wanted to talk about the interesting things in the law that are tossed about in the waves of technology. And to a large extent, that's what I do in my day-to-day life. What I didn't expect when I took up the computer science mantle was how much I would actually love it. In another world, I think I would have been just a programmer. I would have gone and worked for some company and just done this all day long. But as it is now, what I do is I use my firm as my lab for building out tools that improve the quality of service we're able to provide to our clients. A lot of it is really just straight up experimenting and tinkering and trying to better understand how the various technologies work and can interact well with legal knowledge to create a better client outcome as well as a better attorney outcome. So obviously one of the big things that's been going on in the world, if you've been living under a rock, is AI. And the legal industry is not immune from the hype of AI, although they do their damnedest to bury their heads in the sand and not use it. I'm here to tell you it absolutely is usable now. I try to build these tools in a way that isn't only affirmations of stuff that I know well, because if I'm doing that, then I'm not really using the tech to its full benefit, right? If I am a pair of eyes that has to review the work to know that it's solid, then I think I've missed the mark a little bit. I mean, it does make my life easier, but my goal with all of these tinkerings is always, how can I build something that I can plop anyone down in front of and they can get a good work product out of it? So that's what we're looking at today. Right now, we're looking at this private wiki that I stood up. I'm just calling it the Promise Legal Research Database. But essentially what it is it's an instance of a Wikipedia server that is purpose-built for legal notes, case law, and various interactions between various functions of law. You might see a law that cites to another statute, and this wiki seeks to handle that. What's different about it is I am generating a lot of the upfront stuff. So obviously there's going to be some hiccups along the way. And so what I've been doing is I've been using it as a research tool. So I have a question about a particular area of law. I throw it to the wiki. The wiki tries to generate a response, and then I review it for accuracy, and then I do corrections as I go. And the idea is to build out something that really is truly a replacement for paid legal tools. I think open source is the future of legal tech. Open source was the future of tech in general, and legal tech just has never quite gotten there. There are a couple of projects out there that are great. I really like the Court Listener project by, I believe they call themselves Free Law. You might have heard of them as Recap. So if you're a federal practitioner, you might use Pacer for your filings. Recap is an extension provided by the Free Law project that uploads any purchases you make from Pacer to their database, and then any attorney or member of the public who seeks that same document in the future can retrieve it for free. So this obviously has a lot of utility, and it's not something that would have survived in a for-profit, market-driven company. And it's a pretty cool project, so I highly recommend you check it out. So the idea with this project is to eventually open source it if we can get it up and running well enough. So today what I thought I would do is a little demo, not of an area of law that I know, but some other area of law that plenty of other people know. So I hadn't really decided on what question I wanted to throw to the wiki, but probably something in personal injury or potentially family law. Those are very popular. Let's do family law. Adoptions in Texas. Let's throw in another wrinkle. This is risky for a live test, but for same-sex couples. All right, so this is something I know zero about. So I won't even be able to really vet the work, but that's so that way those of you who do know this practice area can see for yourself whether it's good or not. For my purposes, it's pretty good. So right now you can see it's doing the generation, but I just want to make sure that it's good for other folks too. So what we should see here we go. This is the request for the research. So what it's doing right now is it's first parsing down the question that was searched for on the wiki. And then what it's going to do is it's going to search across various reputable sites for sources on the topic. So it's sort of, because it's AI driven, it's not deterministic, which means that the flow is actually different from instance to instance. Although I've put some soft guardrails in there to try and guide the research a little bit more. I have built other research flows in the past that first pull all of the research and then serve it all to the AI to then arrange into a proper content format. But the problem with that is it's a little brittle. Like, I can use that thing, but not everybody can use that thing. So by making it more AI friendly and focused, I'm able to try and throw anything I want in that direction and generally get a good response back. So what is likely happening is right now the AI is doing a search of just a regular Google search for resources on the question presented, which again was adoption in Texas for same-sex couples. We'll see how well it does. So that's obviously something that's a little bit political, which means that there's a lot of content out there for the AI to sift through. So there's a real good chance it'll get stuff wrong here. But that's the point of these tests, is to figure out whether it can handle it or not. So it's going to go through those search results, and it's going to prioritize results that come from law firms, from government websites, and perhaps some level of industry journal. It sort of depends on what's out there, and it's just going to ingest the content to get a sense for what sources of truth it's going to rely on. So for those of you who may not be familiar, AI doesn't, it does pull information directly. So when I tell the AI, go to this website and pull this piece of information and give it to me, it actually goes to the website. It actually pulls the link from the website, and it actually gives you that link. Sometimes the links are broken, but more often than not, it gives you the link, and you can go and you can see the full content of the page. And more or less, it will summarize for you what is actually on that page. However, the AI is not actually returning, like internally, what it is doing is not grabbing that piece of paper and giving it to you. Instead, it's looking at the pattern of words that you put out there and trying to match that starting pattern to an outcome it has seen before. So it's going to go and it's going to find those research questions. It's going to look for responses that match what it expects to see in terms of a pattern. Then from there, it sets it aside as a source of truth for further reliance. Then on my particular instance, it goes and it does specifically legal research, which can include a number of things, including prioritizing, like I said, scholarly articles, looking at case law via the Court Listener API, by the way, and just sort of rounding out the research that it's done with traditionally respected sources in the legal industry. And then finally, it goes to one of my internal databases and it looks to see if it has any information that it has previously retrieved and then mutated into something usable for its purposes before finally submitting it back to the wiki. Now let's see, this might have failed. Let's see what it says. Okay, so it looks like it did the research. And it looks like it might have created that page. Let's go back and let's see if it's there. Again, I have not looked at this. There's a very good chance it'll get stuff wrong. We're going to see what it does anyway. So here we go. You can see that the page has now been created That was relatively quick, which makes me worried that it's not going to be so great, but let's look. Oh, it looks nice. That's something. Like, that is actually a problem that needs to be solved. So it's nice to see that. And now let's read it. I'm not going to read it to you, but I will highlight some of the sources it says to look at. And let's actually click on the links and make sure it gets the links right, because sometimes it actually breaks them. So Texas Family Code, Chapter 162 for adoption, and Chapter 160 for parentage/assisted reproduction. So let's see. Let's pop this open. Okay, yep. It looks like it's about SAPSTers. I know that acronym, but I know nothing about it. And this one, this is about assisted reproduction. Did it go to the same thing? It did not. Oh, I see. It's a chapter and subchapter. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So it actually looks like it returned what it said it returned. That's a good thing. If a petitioner is married, both spouses must join the petition. It has some citations to the Texas Family Code again. It flags a Bergefell versus Hodges. These kinds of links it also breaks occasionally. Let's see. Yep, not found. So in my practice day to day, I would go in and I would actually just edit this. And then at some point after enough errors, I'll go in and I'll try and adjust it so that way it doesn't make those errors again in the future. If married, include both spouses. If using assisted reproduction, document agreements with donors, sponsors, and consult Chapter 160. Contact DFPS for foster to adopt placements. Consider private versus agency adoption. Expect background checks. Non-biological parents who relied on marriage may still need to confirm parentage via adoption or a court order. Some private agencies or individuals may assert religious exemptions. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's just a general link to the Texas Attorney General's website, which is another instance of a broken link. Yeah, nothing useful there. There we go. Texas law helps same-sex parentage guide. Let's see. Might be a broken link. Because we've seen a few broken links, I'm expecting more. Oh, that looks real. And then it has a little list of citations that you can go to. Again, some of these we saw were broken. Let's see this one. Let's see if this one's broken. This one is not broken. Yeah, so it's like maybe 60% accurate on the links it returned. I cannot speak to the statements of law and fact that are made here, but that was kind of the point of this test. Is I want other people to see it and to have their own take on it without me being able to be defensive about it. I don't know this area of law. You all do. And then here, when these pages are created, they will be linked to here. So again, it sort of mimics the approach of a general wiki. And then over time, it'll create basically a robust database of how-tos that are intended for the legal audience to do research, which I think is a neat idea if I can make it work. Here's a randomly created or random one that was previously created. AI deepfakes. AI law surveys and overview. So yeah, that's the research tool. Once again, here's the sort of flow that it followed. Again, in the past, I've done a very prescriptive method of data retrieval, which is successful, but requires more training than I would like to give somebody. And so this one has a little bit more leeway to do it the way it wants to do it, which leads to some of these issues that I'm trying to troubleshoot. So one of the ways that I try and troubleshoot is by providing it with an opportunity to reflect. And this is always a problem. Sometimes the AI is like, no, I don't want to use one of the tools, even though you explicitly told me to. But yeah, in this tool, I ask it if it used citations. Oh, I should add. I'll add to double check the links are correct. We'll see if that does it next time. But anyway, that was this tool. I just finished building this. I think it was like early yesterday morning. Like I said, I've been burning the midnight oil, but so far so good. If you want to see anything generated, let me know. I'd love to give it a shot and get your take.